I've got these pieces that I need to get painted before I can put them on. Got the aileron and the flap that I repaired. Got these covers for the inspection holes for the stabilizer and elevator, and then the parts for the jury struts. Those are all primed and ready to go, but they needed to be painted before I put them on. And I've been busy with other things, and the weather has been too bad to do any of that for the last week and a half or so. The forecast today was for sunny weather for one day, so I thought I'd get these out and take a chance and get them painted, so when the paint cures, and then I can start putting them together. But it doesn't look too promising out there right now. Like I said, it was supposed to be mostly sunny, but there's some pretty black clouds out there today, so there's a chance of showers, it looks like. But I want to go ahead and get these ready anyway, and then we'll see if that clears up a little bit as the day goes by or not. And take a chance on it, maybe get the yellow, get a finished color painted on those. Those clouds look pretty ominous at times. There's some pretty good cumulus buildups here, and some of them are pretty black in the bottoms of them. But so far they've all gone by and no rain out of any of them. I figured if I got them hung up out here, that's when it started to rain. It'd be easier just to get them dried out than it would be to wipe the wet paint off of them if it rained on them before the paint got cured. But so far it's looking pretty good. The inspection cover plates and the jury strut part are pretty much done. They look pretty good. I got to go over the flap and the aileron with another coat of paint. Just got done with the first coat, so we'll let it set up for a little while and try it, finish it up. A few bugs on things, but not too bad. It's still irritating, but okay. All those parts are nice and yellow. No rain in sight. Hopefully it'll keep that way. Enough sunshine on them here, another hour or two of sunshine on them, and they should set up. I just got done with them, so they're pretty wet right now. Anyway, they all look pretty good. When I got done painting all these parts yesterday, I thought they looked pretty good. And they do look pretty good. But when I took these elevator and aileron down from the paint rack and was carrying up to the basement to put them away, I noticed that I didn't get very good coverage on the trailing edge and on a short section of the leading edge of those. Usually try pretty hard to get in there on those corners and edges, but I missed those. So I lucked out, and the weather's turned off pretty good, so I can bring those back out here and mix up a little bit of paint. I just used my little Satajet mini spray gun to spray those with, and I mixed up a little bit of paint. I also needed to get those patches that I put on the wings done. I'd almost forgot about those, so since I was mixing up some paint anyway, I figured I'd just go ahead and get those done. So I've spent the morning masking off the fuselage and the wings of the airplane, so those are all ready to go now. Squirt a little bit of paint on these here on this trailing edges and let them set up, and then I'll go paint in on the fuselage, or on the wings, on those patches I put on. Put about 3 coats of paint or so on that trailing edge now. That looks a lot better than it did. So I'll let that stuff set up now and turn it around or turn it over and do that little strip on the leading edge that kind of got thin. I used that old plastic that I'd put up in here last winter when I painted those wing struts. Saved it, so I used it to drape over the fuselage and over the wings to a degree, and then I got whole bunch of old newspaper and spread out over the wings so the overspray wouldn't get on it. I had to do the 2 flap bays there, the false spar in the flap area. Then there were 5 patches, I think, on the outboard end of that right wing, and then 1 patch right there where the aileron cable comes across the top of the wing there. And then here on the left wing, I just had a couple of patches there on the wing tip. So those are all pretty much done now. I might put another coat on them. I'll see how they look after they have had a chance to set up. That much will be done. That looks a lot better than having those patches in the silver. Well, those look a lot better now. I got both the trailing edge and the leading edge all painted up, and they look pretty good. Got the repairs that I made on the wing all painted up. They look pretty good. We'll have to see. I take all the masking off and stuff, exactly how much they stand out, but at least they're covered up now. That aileron and the flap got to sit out here in the sunshine and cook and cure the paint on them. So I just come out, got them and put them away, and see how lucky we got here. There are big black clouds forming up all over the place, big cumulus. It's actually cumulonimbus clouds, the ones you can't see them here now, but the one off to the north here has got an anvil head on it and the whole works. Now you can't see that now, Well, anyway, we got lucky here. I can feel the rain coming, just feel the dampness and the coolness in the air, probably out of that cloud right there. That's pretty black. So I'd say we did pretty good getting those painted. Well, I came out here a little bit ago, put that flap and aileron away, picked up some other things that were out and put them away. Took a little video of the clouds building up here and commented on the cumulonimbus, how black some of the clouds were. And I took the camera, put it away in the shop where it wouldn't get wet. I went back in the house there and started looking on the computer a little bit, doing a little bit of work in there. And my gosh, if we didn't start getting some thunder. So those clouds build up into big thunderheads. And we do get thunder and lightning here once in a while, but it's not so usual that it's not worth commenting on. Sometimes we even get it in the wintertime in the snowstorms, but it's been pretty warm here today. It was 75 degrees or better here. Still sunny right here, but those clouds have built up into some pretty good thunder showers there. But you got surrounded by water, big water around here. The water temperature is probably about 45 to 47 degrees, something like that. Get air temperature up around 75, 80 degrees. And we've got mountains that run right up out of the water up to over 3,000 feet. You're bound to get a little bit of convectivity. So anyway, we got a little bit of sprinkle here. It didn't last 10 seconds, but somewhere it's pouring down rain out of those clouds. Anyway, the old battle wagons are rolling up there. Hope it doesn't kill my wife's baby chicks. She's got a bunch of eggs in the incubator, and thunder can sometimes kill the embryos in the eggs. Anyway, I guess it's time to go out in it. Gotta take the dogs for their evening walk. I screwed up today. The forecast was for it to start raining last night and rain today, so my mindset was kind of on a rainy day. I got up this morning and it was actually nice out, but I'd already committed to doing a bunch of stuff unrelated to the airplane, because it takes me a while to get going every morning, more and more every day now. My back has been bothering me so much I can't sleep at night, and then it takes me a while to get moving again in the daytime. Well, anyway, I messed up this morning and I didn't get right out. I should have got out and got to working on those floats right away. By the time I did get out and start working on them, I only had probably a half hour or so before the thunderstorm started rolling in. My wife went out today with a friend of hers to go fishing, and they got run off the water. It had thunder and lightning, and big heavy rainstorms were coming down the water at them. Wind was blowing pretty good, so they called it quits and came in. Hit here a few minutes later, we've had some pretty good crackles. Well, not as much rain as I expected, but enough to get you wet. So I've been working inside here in the hangar again. I got the mess cleaned up, the masking all off of the airplane from doing these spot repairs and stuff on here. One of the good purchases that we made, I didn't think it was so good at the time. My wife had to have it, but that little ladder, podium they call it, platform ladder, that's really handy. It's got 3 steps on it going up and then a platform on the 3rd step. You got a brace on the top that you can lean against. It's not quite tall enough for a lot of the work we do on the airplane when it's on the floats. You can get up there, but you don't have a whole lot of reach over the top of the airplane when it's on floats. It's great for working on the tail and stuff back there. But here, when it's on wheels or on the pony gear, it's just the right height to work on everything on top of the airplane, on top of the fuselage. So these spot repairs up here that I did, they look pretty darn good, the ones I did. Some of this one's not one I did here. It doesn't quite match up the color. This is one I did. Now if I'd have spent a little bit more time at it, I probably could have got it just about perfect. But it's been so long since I've done it, I'm kind of out of practice with it. And we got some hard edges here where it was taped off. A few years ago I could do that without even leaving an edge on there, and when you run a buffer over it you'd never even know it was there. But for the most part these look pretty darn good. A lot better than holes in the wing anyway. The one's back there, that one back there on by the aileron pulley, pretty good. So anyway, those are done, and that's pretty happy with those.